This episode of Cape Ann Today is brought to you by The Building Center, setting the standard for quality and service since 1903.
I am with Britta Cahoon and Ruth Pino, who are both here representing the Cape Ann Community Foundation. They are going to talk about this year's low license plate auction and the good that it does in the community. I have to say, as a side note, my father's license plate for almost his whole life was W9, and I'm here to attest to the interesting emotional attachments to a good license plate number. So Ruth and Britta, welcome so much. Thanks for coming. And tell us how the auction works and why it matters.
Well, the auction is built around having, we set aside numbers 1 through 100 when all this first started 8 years or so ago. And that auction is to put those out on the market. And we have bid amounts. Number 1 is gone. And we don't have a list with us today of the numbers that are available, but that's what it's all about, is about getting a low license plate number, Cape Ann license plate number.
And so people can bid on a number that they like, the numbers that are available.
Yes.
And they do this online.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And the proceeds go where?
Well, the proceeds come to the foundation, Cape Ann Community Foundation. We're a 501c3. And so we can talk about how the money that you spend to get a license plate, a Cape Ann license plate, is an extra $40 every 2 years. So it's $20 extra a year for you to have a Cape Ann license plate. Mm-hmm. That money comes to the foundation. And that money is distributed to local nonprofits. They have to apply, and Britta will give out those dates. They have to apply to us. And last year, I believe we had 32 applications. And it's a very difficult decision on who you choose to give a grant to. We typically have given about $15,000 a year. We've given over $70,000 now. Mm-hmm. And it's a very worthwhile reason to get a Cape Ann license plate. The low numbers were set aside purposely to build our foundation, so to speak, of funds. Mm-hmm. And that helped us get started. The fun part is the auction itself and understanding that you're doing good in the community. So those low numbers, yes, you're bidding a higher number. Some of the numbers are $1,000, for example. And so you're getting a special plate. That number is not available any other way.
Mm. So you actually own these numbers, the Cape Ann Community Foundation.
I wouldn't say we own them, but we asked the Registry of Motor Vehicles to set them aside for us.
Okay. Right. Nice. So when does the auction happen and how do people get there?
I'll let Britta do that.
Sure. So the auction launches on March 21st. Mm-hmm. Going to run through March 28th. We haven't, I don't think 100% decided on time, but usually we launch at 5 o'clock. If you go to our website, lovecapeann.com, there is already a link to join our Facebook event. And then when we have it ready, we will also post that list of available plates so that people can preview the auction, and there'll be a link for all of that, available plates, pricing, and all the information that you'll need.
And the website is worth a visit. If you already own a Cape Ann license plate, think about going to our website and using the donate button. Because again, it's a 501c3, so your donation is tax deductible. And we do a lot of good with that money. If you go to our website, there are videos and descriptions of who received the money that we've granted in the last 5 or 6 years. It's been a while that we've been at this. Mm-hmm. And just think about that. If you already have a plate, donate to us. If you have a Red Sox plate, it's the same kind of gift. You're giving a gift to the foundation that the Red Sox started. But if you have a Red Sox plate and therefore can't get a Cape Ann plate or don't want to give up your Red Sox plate, come and donate to our foundation.
Well, as I said earlier, that there is something sort of emotional about a nice license plate, and people get very attached to their license plate. Where did this idea come from for you guys?
So a Cape Ann license plate has been talked about for 25 years or so. And it really all came to fruition with Ken Reel as the executive director of the Cape Ann Chamber. And there are three missions that the foundation has when we give grants. And so we stay focused on that, but it's a pride thing, right? I mean, I wanted to support the foundation, but I wanted to support where I live. I'm very proud to have a Cape Ann license plate, and I chose a number, not the first 100, but because some of us who were early in and could choose our numbers before the registry even made them. So it's a sense of pride in Cape Ann to just have the plate.
Mm.
And I notice them, I love when I'm out of town.
Yes.
Maybe I'm in Danvers or wherever I am, and you always see them on the highway. It's kind of fun.
Right.
It is. When someone's passing me, I say, do I know them? Like
Exactly. They're speeding.
And it's not Cape Cod and the islands either. So.
exactly.
No.
That was the first one.
Right.
Cape Cod and the islands.
Yeah. Well, so just why don't you run down for our viewers a general list of to whom you have donated money and or awarded money from this license plate program, and what kind of numbers are they?
Well, our grants range between 1,500 and 5,000. Early on, when we got 12 applications, it was easier to give a larger grant. But now we get so many applications, we're trying to choose more organizations. And I think last year we gave 6. It's been between 5 and 7 grants that we've given every year. So all the more reason for people to get a plate so that we can continue to do this and add to the amounts. We'd love to give more money. So one of our early grants was to backyard growers. And they did a lot with the money that we gave them. And we've given them grants twice, I think, over the years. Open Door,
Pathways to Children.
Pathways, the Essex Shipbuilding Museum, Susan Emerson, the tulips on the boulevard.
Oh, the
Generous
Gardeners.
Generous Gardeners.
Yeah.
Yes, and so they have to say, this is what we're using the money for. And this is, and then they report back to us on the success of it. But most of the time, the organizations, we know them so well that we can tell.
Right, exactly. All the great ones in the community. So the auction starts March 21st to go through the 28th. Am I getting that right?
Correct. Yep.
And people should go to the Cape Ann Community Foundation, right?
Lovecapeann.com.
Oh, lovecapeann.com. Oh, that's good to know.
And actually, there'll be a link to the auction site.
Great.
The link to the auction site will be on our Facebook page when we launch that day, the 21st.
Okay. Anything else we need people to know about this really fun auction?
What do you think?
I think that covers the auction. We just wanted to share that our grant application for 2022 opens on April 1st, and that runs through May 20th. So about, a good 6 weeks period to get a grant application in and be part of our awards for 2022. And that is also available right on lovecapeann.com. Great team on our board. We've spent a lot of time kind of trying to make it easier and online and just make it easy for applicants to apply.
Yes. So for those of you listening out there and you're involved in a nonprofit organization or you know of one, please make sure that they know about this opportunity. And we actually review every single application. All of us do that. And then we come together and we build a list of the ones in most need. I mean, one of my favorite ones was we gave North Shore Health Project money first year pandemic 2020, it might have been 2021. And that helped that organization to fund buying blankets and tents and other items because Gloucester, Cape Ann in general, has a number of people who live outside.
Mhm.
And I just feel really good about that specific grant, as I do all the others, but that was really meaningful.
I hear you there. That's a great organization. It's been around a long time, but they do such good work.
Mhm.
Well, I'm going to try to sound like Corey now and say, there you have it, folks. I love capeann.com. Get your low license plate number. Donate to the community through nonprofits. Did I do that okay?
Perfect.
Perfect.
Okay,
And you can always call us with questions, email us, lovekpn.com.
great. Well,
And
thank you so
the
much.
lovekpn.com website is packed with information about the foundation itself.
Great, great. Well, thank you both for all your good work and for being here today to share the story.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you, Heather.
Thanks.
Interested in a sponsorship? Email sponsor@1623studios.org to learn more.